Now there was a question about the speed. So let's do a video about the sailing and motoring in general, and we kind of answer that at the same time. We are now in a pretty protected bay. We are running 1600 RPM, which for this Volvo engine what I have is Economical RPMs, and we have a speed of 5.1 knots. If we would be in big seas and try to go with the motor against the waves, then we would be hardly moving on this RPM. So the bow of this boat is taking the waves quite heavy and breaking them. So it needs more power to go through, and you need to use more power from the engine. But in this kind of a calm conditions, you can go this 5 knots quite easily. Now that we got out of that narrow bay, we can actually look what happens when you give more power. So we increase the RPM to 2500. And we start to accelerate, and suddenly we are close to 7 knots, and that's where it stabilizes. Difference here is that we are making a huge wake and the bow wave. So we are also consuming more fuel. Then when I add power to 3000, then we only get about a half a knot more. And now the hull is kind of semi-planing. It's lifting the bow up. And we are going like a motorboat. But you gain so little by listening to the engine roaring, and then fuel consumption increases double. So when you go from 1500 to bit over 2000 RPM, you double the fuel consumption. So I'm pretty happy cruising this around 5 knots. Oh shit. Speed is 0.2, we are floating. Incorrect direction. Sails are just hanging loose. We don't get any power. None whatsoever. Someone asked about the sailing speeds. Now we are going downwind, and we gain some surf speed. 5.7 today. I had 6 point something there sometimes, but typically then we are going fast on the side wind. Now we are going downwind with a relatively big swell pushing at us, but the wind is not very strong yet. But They just gave a near gale warning. So I believe it will get a little bit stronger. But no matter, we are cold. And like now we are on the side wind, so we get constant over 5 knots, 5.8 was there, 5.7 constantly. So wind is the same, wind direction is different, so that gives a big difference on the speed. And then if I would try to beat into the wind in this weather, we would be in standstill. It wouldn't move. But side wind goes nicely and downwind goes very nicely. And the wind speed is something like 6 meters per second. It's not more. We are just open water and get an even wind. Heavy boat like this takes some time to accelerate when you get the gust, so that it doesn't accelerate instantly. Therefore you get the higher speeds when you have an even wind. And that's one problem in archipelago sailing, is that there are constantly gusts and wind is rotating a lot, so lighter boat gets a better benefit in there from the wind. Nice. Palaria is slightly faster. They have a bigger sails and lighter boat and longer gear.